Coming up here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports, I'm going to give you guys my keys to victory for New England to beat the Indianapolis Colts and what I think could be the last time the Patriots could get a win this season, and I would love for it to be at home. We will be live on Sunday starting at noon Eastern Time. If you guys want to join us, I would absolutely love that. Look for this thumbnail on Sunday. This will be the link to watch us live and come join over almost 20,000 subscribers here on this channel. So if you guys are going to be joining us for that watch party, it's super simple to let me know and let everybody else here on Patriots Today know. All you guys have to do is go on ahead and like this video. We're all going to be very happy, very fat, full of Thanksgiving leftovers. So come hang out with us in the Week 13 matchup. Let's talk about that Week 13 matchup, shall we? Because no surprise here, the Patriots are not favorites heading into this ballgame, even though the Colts are also very bad. The total over-under, though, a little bit higher than last week's with the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. Total over-under right now is set at 44, so we're expecting a high-scoring game. And like I said in the intro there, I do think we can win this ball game, but you've got to do these four things. Let's jump into Allie's keys to victory. I just coined that off of producer Joey. Anyways, number one, in all caps, because I want everybody, including the Patriots, to hear this in New England, limit your penalties. Please, for the love. I'm fine with having a couple flags. That just comes with the game. But 12 penalties? That's so annoying. It's not even funny. For Darian Lowe, well, he was flagged for 4 of those penalties. And there were so many I couldn't even fit it in 10 boxes. I had to double up on those last 2. Mike Nwunu for holding. Kayshon Boutte for a PI and holding. Kyle Duggar for a PI. You've got everything from first-year players to veterans on this list. And it is just exhausting, especially when 5 of those penalties come in the first quarter against the Miami Dolphins and you gave up in total 75 yards. Look, we struggle moving the ball down the field, and we struggle stopping the ball on defense. So we need all the help that we can get. And what I'm looking at here in Week 13, it's Patriots versus Patriots. It's you versus you. How well you play in terms of how well that you keep your team afloat, you can win this ball game. But if you go out there and you hurt yourself again with the Achilles heel of the New England Patriots, the flags, the penalties, you're going to lose. It doesn't matter the yards you have through the air, the yards you have on the ground. If you defeat yourself, it's game over. The Patriots are already the 6th most penalized team in the NFL with 81 total penalties. Thankfully, producer Joey's team, the Ravens, they are the most penalized team in the NFL. But guess what? They're winning. We're not winning, and we're still in the top 10 of penalties. You can genuinely help your cause if you stop making these mistakes. For Darian Lowe after the game saying, yeah, my count was off. My cadence is off. No shit. We got that. So many false starts. It was ridiculous. So I won't harp on it too much here, but you really just have to look at this in the sense of I'm pointing my finger at Javon Baker, and I understand that we don't have the strongest depth chart to have to substitute somebody if they continue to make mistakes. Darian Lowe should have been benched. He absolutely should have after the 3rd penalty, and that's even giving him a grace one. I do think if you have another situation like that where DeMontre Jacobs, Darian Lowe, whoever, has multiple penalties, just set him for a series. You do it when Ramondre Stevenson fumbles. It may be a bad series, but it can't be any worse than racking up 3 flags back to back to back. So my question here for you guys is I want you to play Prize Picks with me, all right? More or less? 5 penalties for the New England Patriots. Do you guys think we're going to have more, or do you guys think we're going to have less? I mean, 5 is still pretty high, but it's not 12. All right, if you guys can type M for more, L for less in the comment section, then you guys should be able to play the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America, Prize Picks. Why? Because you just did it. All you have to do to play Prize Picks and win up to 100 times your cash is get as little as 4 correct picks when you are picking more or less on a player's projected stats for that game. It is simply that easy. All you guys have to do is deposit the amount of money that you want to play with. I normally like to put about $10 in there. That way my payout can be a little bit bigger, but The withdrawal process is super easy. Once my picks hit, I can get my cash my money within 15 minutes of clicking that withdrawal button. So I know there's a lot of football to be played this week, but I am focused on Sunday and Turkey Day when I am making my prize picks this week. And especially with Tyreek Hill, they're giving you a fat discount on Tyreek Hill on Turkey Day to have at least one receiving yard. We just saw him drop 48 yards against us last week. I'm absolutely taking that. I think DeMario Douglas keeps it going with the receiving yards. Give me more than 41.5 than Josh Jacobs, who's been rolling in the end zone. So I'm going to take the more, especially since that's a goblin. A goblin is that little green guy you see next to Josh Jacobs. That's an easy pick, but the payout isn't as much. If you find the demon, that's a little bit harder for it to happen, but the payout is a lot more. If you guys want to go ahead and get started, you can download the PrizePicks app, use code CLNS. This will get you $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Download the PrizePicks app, use promo code CLNS. This will give you $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. All right, these two kind of go hand in hand here, but I have Drake Maye's picture there because I'm really starting to look at Drake Maye. I still stand by my stance that he does not have a turnover problem, but I do need to see him at least have one game since taking over the starting job in Week 6 without a turnover, because that's exactly what he's done. He has thrown a pick in every single game. Typically, I'm okay with that. I understand our offensive line gives them little to no time to throw. We don't have a top wide receiver, so you can't just chuck it and say, F it. Justin Jefferson's down there somewhere. So I'm kind of okay with Drake Maye having at least one interception. I know it sounds crazy to say, but it does need to get cleaned up at some point. I don't want to go the rest of the season of having an interception every single game because I think that just throws him off his game. I don't think there's any secret that Maye didn't have his best performance on Sunday going up against the Dolphins. And then he also had another turnover on top of throwing an interception on possibly the last realistic drive the Patriots had to score a touchdown. And he was strip sacked. And it was ugly. The recovery was ugly. The play was ugly. He didn't want to protect the ball at all. And that's something that cannot happen going up against the Indianapolis Colts, a team that I do think if you play seamless football, you should be able to win. Not to mention, I don't want Drake Maye to start these bad patterns in his first year of his NFL career. Most of the time, they do get older, they grow up and start to make less mistakes here. But as of right now, Drake Maye is not looking like the best rookie quarterback that's out there, despite being the number 3 pick overall in the 2024 NFL Draft. Caleb Williams has 5 interceptions. Daniels has 5 interceptions. Bo Nix has 6. And you're probably thinking, Allie, he only has 1 more interception than Bo, 2 more than Caleb Williams. Look at the games played. He has played about less than half of the games that these guys have. So it's starting to get a little bit concerning that they've all played a game without an interception. Drake Maye hasn't. And that's where it starts to get a little bit scary. So overall, when I do look at the rookies, and I do think that this is coming from a new era of college football, I don't know what's happening with NFL rookies in the sense that they are determined to make the play, to chuck it somewhere, to throw the ball away, whether it's intentional grounding or out of bounds or something, rather than taking the sack. If you watch Kirk Cousins, Matthew Stafford, even Jacoby Brissett, when that pressure's coming and they still don't have anybody ready, guess what they do? They tuck that ball, they crouch, and they brace that hit. I see Drake Maye's left arm being pulled down by a defensive end, and he's chucking it up with his right, hoping somebody catches it. It's a duck pass and lands right into the hands of the defender. I don't know why NFL rookies are doing this, and it's not just Drake Maye. I've seen Daniels. I've seen Bo Nix and Williams do it as well, but I can't stand it. Learn to protect the football, and then you can make costly throws like Patrick Mahomes. But I have seen too many turnovers because rookies are afraid to take the sack in their box score, in their career stats. And I just don't want to see anymore. But the good news is Drake Maye did admit that he's learning and that he doesn't want to have interceptions every game. That's the good part. As myself, kind of looking back and looking at the plays, I definitely think that from the standpoint of, turning the ball over, you can't do that in this league. And right now, I wouldn't say it's a problem. I think most of my turnovers are really being careless. Oh, I just said that. Throwing the ball careless into difficult spots. Once again, I just said that. I think, tipped interception, that's just a tough one. The fumble, obviously you put the ball in harm's way of turning over the football, but I wouldn't say that it's a problem. Well, we'll wait and see, Drake Maye. We will wait and see what you do here in Week 13. But let's go ahead and break down a little bit about this actual ball game, and that's keep Franklin and Cross away. Who are Franklin and Cross? Zaire Franklin and Nick Cross are one of the best tacklers in the NFL. And I know you're probably looking at me being like, Allie, everybody tackles in the football. I understand that, but when you're the top two, that means it's going to be hard to make plays, especially for New England, who already struggles just getting the first down. 123 tackles and 116 tackles. This is first in the NFL and second in the NFL, which means they know how to stop a play. And like I just said, the Patriots struggle starting the play. Did you guys also know that when you've got a linebacker and a free safety like this, they are more likely to throw them at Drake Maye in the backfield by pulling some kind of formation with a blitz? And last week, it was disgusting what Drake Maye could do against a blitz, especially if you do have an open gap like the offensive line allows all these defenders to come through. I can easily see Zaire Franklin finding himself in the backfield more often than not. Maye was blitzed 15 times on Sunday, 32.6%. He went 50% for 31 yards with 2 sacks and 2 turnovers. My God. It's like the man has never seen a blitz package run at him ever before. And that kind of goes hand in hand with, I just don't think Drake Maye mentally was there on Sunday. Just wasn't his best stats. But if you just saw those stats from Miami, not even blitzing more than 20% of the time, do you know what I'm looking at as an Indianapolis defensive coordinator? Blitz all game. And I do think it's going to come from some of the linebackers, maybe even a free safety if they were to have that kind of package. So my question here for you guys is there any way New England can keep Drake Maye sack-free? I mean, at least one quarterback in the NFL, if not most of the quarterbacks in the NFL, have gone one game this season without being touched in the backfield. Can it be us? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Last but not least, pop, and more pop. How many times do I have to say it for Alex Van Pelt to hear me in New England throw the ball to DeMario Douglas, my guy? He is clearly turning into the wide receiver one here. When you look at the Week 12 snap count, Kayshon Boutte had the Week 11 highest snap count as well as 73, but DeMario Douglas had 43. Now they're kind of going neck and neck here, 54, 44, and then the rest start to fall. These are obviously the top three wide receivers, but I have noticed a certain level of connection with Maye and Pop over somebody like Maye and Boutte and Maye and Bourne. Not to mention, Pop solidified himself last week as the only reliable resource to get any kind of first down or any kind of momentum over that game. And when I do start to look at DeMario Douglas having 5 receptions for 62 yards, I do think that he is able to continue to connect with Drake Maye even when that pressure starts to come, which I do think that it will. When you look at Kendrick Bourne, he's also a good option here. 3 receptions for 30 yards. Polk still not really getting his footing in the wide receiver room. Javon Baker finally got a target, but that was a specific play that was designed to kind of have another wideout in there. And then Kayshon Boutte, 1 reception for 6 yards. So I'll say it again. Pop's your wide receiver 1. Is he your leading receiver? No, those fall in the hands of the tight ends of Austin Hooper and Hunter Henry. But when you're looking to get a first down, and I also want to talk about the explosiveness that Pop does have. His yards after catch is phenomenal. He's got that next level acceleration speed that I think the Patriots need to be utilizing more if Drake Maye can't sling it 20 yards downfield. Well, give a 10-yard route and then allow him to gain 10 yards on the ground, because there's 3 plays that I absolutely love for Pop Douglas that I've noticed in the last 2 weeks is RPO slants, spot routes, and then, of course, you do have quick slants as well. There are several ways to get Pop Douglas the ball that doesn't require heaving it 30 yards upfield, and Drake Maye doesn't have that type of time to even make that play. Dish it out quickly, take the snap, easy dump off, let Pop Douglas do all the hard work. Once he has the ball in his hands, he's very good at juking out defenders. He's very good at creating separation, and he's very good at catching yards, gaining yards after the catch. So my last question for you guys, do you want more DeMario Douglas highlights? I mean, I feel like I've had to beg and plead for the bare minimum from this offensive coordinator. Just give the ball to Pop and sit down, Alex. Come on. All right, hit that like button for me. And as always, we will be live on Sunday for week 13. My goodness. Going up against the Indianapolis Colts. If you guys want to join us, all you have to do is subscribe.